The ocean was quiet, almost too quiet. Dr. Elena Martinez adjusted her headset and stared at the glowing monitor in front of her. The deep-sea research vessel Abyss Explorer rocked gently on the waves above, but far below, at depths humans rarely visited, the world was silent and dark. Millions of tons of water pressed down from all sides, and the ocean floor seemed endless. Elena had spent her entire career studying the deep sea. She had explored coral forests, underwater volcanoes, and trenches so deep sunlight never reached. But nothing had prepared her for what the sonar had just detected. A huge, strange object lay buried under thousands of feet of sediment. Its shape was unlike any shipwreck or natural formation she had ever seen. "Do you see this?" Elena asked, pointing at the monitor. "I see it," Samir said, his brow furrowed. "It doesn't match anything in our database. It's too smooth, too perfect." The object glimmered faintly under the sonar's pulse, almost as if it were alive. Elena's mind raced. Could it be a secret military vessel, ancient technology, or something else entirely? "Prepare the drones," she said. "We need a closer look." The team activated the Nereus, a small, unmanned submersible equipped with cameras, robotic arms, and sensors designed for extreme pressure. It would descend more than 6 miles into the abyss, a place humans could only reach for a short time. Elena watched the live feed on her screen as the drone descended, the darkness around it growing thicker with every passing second. Hours passed. The only sounds were the low hum of machinery and the occasional crackle from the radio. Then, suddenly, the feed showed it. A massive structure. Buried but unmistakable. It was clearly made of metal, with curves and lines too precise to be natural. The surface seemed to shimmer in the faint light of the drone's lamps. Elena's hand trembled slightly. It's a spaceship," she whispered. The words hung in the room, heavy and impossible. Everyone stared at the screen. "No," Samir said slowly. "It can't be. Spaceships don't just sink in the ocean. Not here. Not like this." But deep down, they all knew the truth. The object was enormous, bigger than any human vessel ever built. Its design was completely alien, yet elegant. There were no sharp angles, no welding seams, no rivets. The surface absorbed and reflected light at the same time, giving it an almost liquid-like appearance. Elena took a deep breath. "We need to document everything. Slowly. Carefully. This is history." Quote, "Thanks for watching." Quote, "Watching." Quote, "Watching." Quote, "Watching." Elena. Quote, "Watching." Quote, "Watching." Quote, "Watching." Quote, "Watching." Quote, "The team worked through the night. The drone moved around the object, scanning it with lasers and high-resolution cameras. Each pass revealed more details. Strange symbols adorned its surface, though no one could understand them yet. Large circular panels, almost like windows, were embedded in the hull. Some seemed to glow faintly, even underwater. When the first images reached the world above, the news spread like wildfire. Scientists, governments, and media outlets around the globe were stunned. Humanity had found a spacecraft lying at the bottom of the ocean, buried for who knows how long. Theories ran wild. Alien visitors, ancient civilizations, secret government experiments. Meanwhile, Elena and her team stayed focused. The next step was risky. Sending a manned submersible down to explore the ship from inside. Pressure at this depth could crush anything, but curiosity and the chance to witness something extraordinary outweighed the danger. The following morning, the small crew prepared the Leviathan, a manned submersible designed for extreme depth. Elena was chosen to lead the dive. She put on her suit and helmet, her movements precise but her mind racing with anticipation. As the Leviathan was lowered into the water, the ship above felt smaller, but the pressure and darkness made it feel immense. Elena could see the shadow of the spaceship in the distance, partially covered by sediment. Her pulse quickened. "Approaching target," the pilot said. "We're getting closer." The submersible hovered above the ship, and the cameras captured images more vivid than any drone could provide. There were long, smooth ridges along the hull, faint energy traces glowing in certain areas, and something that looked like a hatch. Elena pressed her hand to the glass, her breath fogging slightly. "This is real," she whispered. "We're actually here." They spent hours surveying the ship's exterior. Robotic arms removed layers of sediment, revealing intricate markings and panels that seemed to respond to light. Some of the symbols glowed faintly as if the ship were aware of their presence. "Dr. Martinez," the pilot said, "we may have found an entry point." Elena's eyes widened. "Careful. Let's not trigger anything." Slowly. The hatch opened easily, as if inviting them in. Elena felt a chill run down her spine. She had explored shipwrecks before, but nothing prepared her for this. The interior was immense, far larger than the outside suggested. Smooth walls curved into each other, glowing faintly, with strange symbols floating in the air like holograms. "This is incredible," Samir whispered over the comms. "It's alive." Somehow, they moved cautiously inside. The submersible's lights illuminated chambers filled with unknown technology. Screens displayed symbols that shifted and moved. While devices hummed softly, energy flowed through the walls, casting patterns like underwater auroras. In one chamber, they found objects suspended in a clear substance. They looked like crystals, but each contained swirling patterns of light. Elena's hand shook slightly as she reached out. "These could be data storage units," she said, "or maybe even records of the ship's crew." A sudden pulse of energy made the submersible tremble. The lights inside the ship flickered, then stabilized. Elena realized the ship was not dead. It was dormant, waiting. The team decided to retreat for the day. The Leviathan backed out slowly, giving one last look at the alien craft. From the surface, the world waited. Scientists debated what the discovery meant, governments argued over control, and the media speculated endlessly. Elena stood on the deck of the Abyss Explorer, staring at the dark water. "Whatever this ship is," she said quietly, "it's more than just technology. It's a message, and we're the first to read it." That night, sleep was impossible. Elena dreamed of stars, of galaxies she had never seen, and of beings who had traveled them. She dreamed of a world watching humanity, curious, waiting. By morning, the news had spread globally. Headlines shouted about the discovery. "Alien spaceship found in Pacific Trench," and "humans face proof of extraterrestrial intelligence." People speculated about the aliens' intentions. Were they explorers, observers, guardians, or something else entirely? Elena knew one thing. The discovery was only the beginning. The spaceship held secrets that could change humanity forever. And the first steps toward uncovering them would be careful, precise, and daring. As the world buzzed with theories, the deep sea remained silent around the ship. But deep within its chambers, faint pulses of light continued, as if acknowledging humanity's presence. Somewhere, in the depths of space and time, the creators of the vessel had left a message waiting for the right species to find it. And now, humans were listening. The ocean had hidden it for millennia. But finally, the spaceship had been found, and humanity's journey toward something far greater had begun. The days following the discovery were filled with excitement and tension. News of the alien spaceship spread across the globe, capturing the attention of scientists, governments, and ordinary people alike. While political leaders argued over control, the team of human scientists aboard the Abyss Explorer focused on their task. Understanding the mysterious ship, Dr. Elena Martinez knew that rushing could be dangerous. The ship was unlike anything humanity had ever encountered, and its technology seemed almost alive. Every panel, every symbol, every pulse of energy hinted at intelligence far beyond human comprehension. "We need to be careful," Elena reminded the team. "We don't know what any of this does. One wrong move could trigger something we cannot stop." Dr. Samir Rao nodded, adjusting the settings on the control console. "I understand, Elena. But we also need to start learning from it." If we wait too long, others might interfere, or worse, damage the ship. With a shared sense of purpose, the team prepared for a new expedition. This time, they would explore inside the spaceship, using both the manned submersible Leviathan and advanced robotic drones. Every precaution was taken. Reinforced hulls, emergency escape systems, and detailed scanning procedures. As the Leviathan descended once more into the depths, Elena could feel a mixture of fear and anticipation. The ship had remained dormant since they first found it. But now, something seemed different. Small pulses of light flickered along the hull, as if the ship were responding to their presence. "Look at that," Samir whispered. "It's almost like it's alive," Elena nodded. "Or it's waiting for us to prove ourselves worthy." When the submersible reached the hatch, the team carefully opened it and entered the interior. The chambers were even more extraordinary than before. Walls curved smoothly in every direction, with strange symbols floating in the air like holograms. Soft, glowing light filled the rooms, illuminating the alien technology in ways that human eyes could almost understand. "This is incredible," Elena said. "The design, the materials, everything is beyond our knowledge." The drones moved ahead, scanning the rooms and recording data. They discovered panels covered in glowing symbols, strange consoles that seemed to react to their touch, and what appeared to be storage chambers holding unknown objects. Some contained liquid-like substances that shimmered in multiple colors, while others housed crystalline structures that seemed to hold energy within them. In the largest chamber, they found a remarkable discovery. A holographic display activated when a drone approached. The image projected a three-dimensional map of stars, planets, and galaxies. Lines connected different points, forming routes that clearly showed interstellar travel paths. Dr. Martinez studied the display with wonder. "These are maps of the universe," she said. "This ship was a traveler, an explorer, someone who journeyed between stars." A sudden pulse of energy ran through the chamber, and a holographic figure appeared. It was humanoid in shape, but ethereal, made entirely of light. The figure's voice echoed in the room. Calm, but powerful. "Greetings, children of Earth," it said. "We have watched your species for millennia. We observed your growth, your struggles, and your potential. Now, you have found us." The scientists froze. Was this a recording, a message, or some form of intelligence still present within the ship? Elena stepped forward, her voice steady. "Who are you? Why did you come here?" The holographic figure replied, "We are explorers. We travel across galaxies, seeking knowledge and understanding. This ship was sent to observe life on countless worlds, including yours. Your species has shown resilience, creativity, and the capacity for great moral strength. These qualities make you unique." The team exchanged stunned looks. Humans, of all species, had been noticed and appreciated by beings far beyond their comprehension. "This is extraordinary," Samir whispered. "They've been watching us?" "Yes," the hologram continued. "We influenced certain events subtly, guiding your growth without interference. Your achievements and failures were all observed. You are now ready to learn from us. If you prove your unity and wisdom," Elena felt a shiver run down her spine. "Unity and wisdom? How do we prove that?" "You will know," the hologram said. "The ship itself is a test. Those who seek knowledge with pure intent may proceed. Those who seek power alone will find nothing but barriers." The message ended, leaving the team in awe. The ship seemed to hum softly, almost as if acknowledging their presence. The scientists realized that this vessel was more than a machine. It was a repository of knowledge, designed to recognize those who were worthy of learning from it. Over the next several days, the team continued exploring. They discovered devices that could store vast amounts of information, crystals that emitted energy, and panels that responded to human thought. Every discovery revealed that the ship's creators were incredibly advanced, capable of bending energy, matter, and even light to their will. One device, in particular, caught Elena's attention. It was a small, handheld object that pulsed with energy when she touched it. When placed on the console, the holographic map of the universe expanded, showing more distant galaxies and star systems. Lines connected worlds in ways that suggested trade routes, exploration paths, and even areas of study. "These are their records," Elena said. "They traveled far beyond our understanding. And they were interested in us." The team also noticed something remarkable about the ship. It seemed to react to their behavior. When they worked together, the holograms provided more information. When they approached with caution and curiosity, new chambers opened. But when a drone moved too aggressively, or a member acted selfishly, the ship's energy fluctuated. Doors remained closed, and panels dimmed. "It's testing us," Samir realized. "Not just our intelligence, our intentions." Elena nodded. "We must show that humanity is capable of responsibility, not just curiosity." Meanwhile, above the ocean, the world was changing. Governments and corporations vied for influence over the discovery. Some tried to send their own teams, but the ship resisted unauthorized access. Its protective energy pulses prevented interference, forcing humanity to work together if they wanted to learn its secrets. The pressure on Elena's team grew. International observers demanded updates. Scientists debated how much to reveal. But Elena remained focused. She knew that humanity's true test was not only about unlocking the ship's secrets but proving that humans could act with unity and wisdom. As the days passed, the team uncovered more extraordinary items. Crystalline devices that stored entire planetary histories, energy spheres that could simulate entire ecosystems, holographic archives detailing the ship's journeys and discoveries. Every new find reinforced the idea that the ship's creators were explorers who valued knowledge above all else. They were fascinated by life, growth, and moral potential. And now, humanity was part of their observation. One night, after a long day of exploration, Elena stared at the ocean's surface from the Abyss Explorer. The water was calm, but beneath it, the alien ship pulsed softly. Alive and aware, she thought about the message. Humans had been observed for centuries. They had been guided subtly, shaped by events and discoveries. And now, they had a choice: to prove their worth or fail in the face of temptation and greed. "Do you think humanity can pass the test?" Samir asked quietly, joining her. Elena considered it. "I think we can. We have curiosity, intelligence, and the ability to work together." The next day, the team discovered a new chamber. It was circular, with a platform in the center surrounded by floating symbols. As Elena stepped onto the platform, the symbols formed patterns that seemed to respond to her thoughts and intentions. She realized that this was another test, a puzzle not of physical skill, but of intelligence, cooperation, and moral judgment. Together, the team worked to solve the puzzles. Each success revealed more information about the universe, the ship, and the alien creators. They learned that the vessel had visited countless worlds, collected knowledge from various civilizations, and recorded the evolution of life in multiple galaxies. "This is beyond anything we imagined," Elena said. "We are not just observers. We are part of something much bigger." As the chapter of discovery closed for the day, the team gathered to discuss their next steps. They knew the ship held knowledge that could change humanity forever. But only if they proved worthy. Elena looked at her team and then out at the dark ocean. "We are standing at the edge of a new era," she said softly. "If we succeed, humanity will not only understand the universe, but find its place in it. But the challenges ahead will test every part of who we are." The ship pulsed again, a soft, glowing heartbeat in the deep. It had recognized the humans not only as explorers but as beings capable of growth, intelligence, and moral strength. And somewhere, far away, the creators of the vessel had left their silent acknowledgement. Humanity had begun its journey toward something far greater than it had ever imagined. The ocean was no longer just a world of darkness and pressure. It had become the doorway to the stars. The ocean had been calm for weeks, but below the surface, tension was rising. Dr. Elena Martinez and her team had uncovered remarkable secrets within the alien spaceship. They had seen holographic maps of distant galaxies, energy devices that defied physics, and evidence that humans had been observed for centuries. Yet, as the team delved deeper, a new realization settled over them like a shadow. They were not alone in their interest. Governments around the world had grown impatient. Rumors of secret expeditions and attempts to access the ship without permission reached the team. Military and corporate drones had been detected approaching the trench, but each time, the alien vessel reacted. Pulses of energy emitted from the hull, creating powerful barriers that repelled the intruders. It became clear that the ship was not just a repository of knowledge. It was also a guardian, protecting itself and its secrets. Elena gathered her team in the control room aboard the Abyss Explorer. "We need to understand something," she said, her voice steady but firm. "This ship is more than a treasure. It's intelligent. It knows who is here with pure intentions and who is not. It won't let anyone use it for power or destruction." Samir Rao nodded. "I've analyzed the energy patterns. They are reactive, almost like the ship can sense our motives. If someone tries to take the technology without respect, the ship stops them." Elena's brow furrowed. "That's good. But it also means we have to be very careful. One mistake, and it could shut us out completely." Despite the precautions, tensions were rising. Governments demanded updates. The media speculated endlessly, while rival nations sent covert operations to the trench. Each attempt triggered the ship's defenses, creating massive underwater energy bursts that rattled the ocean floor. Deep within the alien vessel, the human team discovered something even more surprising. In one chamber, they found a series of devices that recorded genetic information. As they studied the devices, Elena realized the shocking truth. The ship had been observing human DNA specifically, monitoring evolution and development for millennia. "This is why they watched us," Elena said, voice trembling slightly. "They were studying humans. Not just life on Earth, but us, our species, our growth, our potential." The revelation sparked awe and unease. If humans had been observed for thousands of years, what was their ultimate purpose in the eyes of the ship's creators? And what would happen if others tried to exploit this knowledge for selfish purposes? The team's questions were answered sooner than expected. One night, while exploring a chamber filled with floating energy spheres, alarms blared across the submersible. The ship pulsed violently, and a protective field expanded outward. Elena's heart raced. "They're coming," Samir said, analyzing the readings. "Unauthorized vehicles, military or corporate drones." The humans watched in tension as the ship's defenses activated. Massive pulses of energy created a barrier around the vessel, repelling the intruders. Underwater explosions rocked the trench, but the alien ship remained unharmed. It was a warning and a test. Elena realized the gravity of the situation. The ship was not merely a passive archive. It was a sentinel. Its creators had designed it to recognize worthy civilizations and reject those driven by greed or ambition. Humanity's challenge was no longer just understanding the ship, it was proving they were worthy of its knowledge. The next day, the team discovered a new chamber deeper within the ship. It was circular, with a platform at its center, surrounded by glowing symbols. As Elena approached, the symbols responded to her presence, shifting and forming patterns that seemed to react to thought and intent. "This is a test," Elena whispered. "It's not just about intelligence. It's about who we are as humans, our intentions, our cooperation, and our moral strength." Together, the team faced a series of challenges designed by the ship. These were not physical challenges but puzzles of intellect and morality. Some required collaboration to solve. Others tested the team's honesty and willingness to prioritize the greater good over personal gain. One puzzle involved balancing energy flows through a network of crystalline structures. The energy had to be distributed equally to activate a central chamber, but one member could redirect it for personal advantage. The team debated and negotiated, realizing that selfish actions would prevent progress. In the end, they succeeded by working together, and the ship responded by opening a new pathway. Another challenge involved interpreting alien symbols to unlock a chamber containing advanced devices. The symbols changed dynamically, almost as if they were alive. The team discovered that success required combining knowledge from multiple disciplines: physics, biology, mathematics, and intuition. Only by collaborating could they progress. While the humans focused on the tests, tensions above the ocean escalated. Rival nations attempted further incursions, ignoring warnings. Each time, the ship's defenses activated, creating massive energy fields that disrupted underwater equipment and forced intruders to retreat. Elena realized that the ship's creators had left a clear message: technology without responsibility is dangerous. Only those who approached with wisdom, collaboration, and ethical purpose could access the secrets within. Amid these challenges, a new discovery shook the team. In one chamber, they found a holographic archive showing civilizations across the galaxy. Some thriving, some destroyed. Many had failed because they sought power without responsibility. A few had succeeded, not through strength, but through intelligence, cooperation, and moral integrity. Elena studied the images carefully. "This is a warning and a guide," she said. "We are being tested, but we are also being taught. The choices we make now will define whether humanity can rise to its potential." As days turned into weeks, the team adapted to the ship's challenges. They learned to anticipate its responses, to approach each puzzle with care, and to prioritize the greater good. Their unity and intelligence unlocked more chambers, revealing technologies that could solve energy crises, improve medicine, and even allow interstellar travel. Yet the threat remained. Unauthorized teams continued to probe the depths, and the ship's protective responses became more intense. The ocean trembled with energy, and the Abyss Explorer crew realized that human greed and ambition were a real danger not only to themselves but to the delicate balance the ship maintained. One night, as Elena rested in her cabin, the ship pulsed gently beneath the water. It was almost a heartbeat, a signal of awareness and judgment. She thought about the team, about humanity, and about the responsibility they now carried. This was no longer just a scientific mission, it was a moral mission. The future of human interaction with the wider universe depended on their choices. The next morning, a new challenge awaited. The team entered a chamber filled with suspended spheres, each containing information about alien civilizations, planets, and technologies. A holographic interface activated, requiring them to select patterns that represented ethical choices in hypothetical scenarios. Incorrect selections caused the spheres to dim or lock, while correct choices expanded the knowledge available. "This is incredible," Samir said. "It's teaching us, testing us, and preparing us at the same time." Elena smiled faintly. "And it's judging us. Every choice we make matters not just for ourselves, but for the species as a whole." As the team progressed, they realized the ship had a final, hidden function. Deep within its core was a device capable of communicating with other civilizations across the galaxy. The alien creators had left it as a bridge, a way for those who proved worthy to join the broader interstellar community. The revelation was both thrilling and terrifying. Humanity had a chance to step into the stars, to join civilizations far beyond Earth, but only if they remained united, ethical, and wise. The team returned to the surface for a brief rest, reflecting on everything they had experienced. The ocean was calm, but beneath its depths, the ship pulsed like a living entity, aware of humanity's progress. Elena spoke to her team, her voice filled with determination. "We have faced the ship's tests and proven we can work together. But the greatest challenges are ahead. We must remain careful, ethical, and united. If we fail, all of this knowledge, all of this opportunity, could be lost or misused." The world above watched with bated breath. News of the ship's discoveries spread, and people began to understand that this was not just a technological marvel. It was a test of humanity itself. Political leaders, scientists, and citizens realized that greed and selfishness could destroy the opportunity, while unity, intelligence, and morality could lead to unimaginable growth. The ocean, once a silent and mysterious frontier, had become a gateway. The alien ship waited patiently, observing every action, every choice, and every thought. It had tested the humans' courage, intelligence, and morality, and it would continue to do so until it recognized humanity as truly worthy of its secrets. Elena knew that the most difficult part of their journey was still ahead. The team had passed the initial tests, unlocked incredible knowledge, and proven their worth in small ways. But to truly access the ship's core and prepare for humanity's leap into the stars, they would face challenges that required not just intelligence, but the strength of spirit and unity of the human race. The ocean depths remained silent, yet alive with power and purpose. Humanity had begun to understand the ship. But the true test was far from over. The threat was not only external from rival nations or greedy factions, but also internal, within their own hearts and minds. Could humans remain united in the face of temptation? Could they prioritize morality over ambition? Elena gazed down into the deep trench, the ship glowing faintly below. She felt both awe and responsibility. Humanity had been observed for centuries. Now it was their turn to show that they were worthy. The alien vessel pulsed softly, almost like a heartbeat, acknowledging the humans' progress. But it also sent a warning. The challenges ahead would test not only intellect, but character. The journey was only beginning, and the future of humanity's place among the stars hung in the balance. Beneath the ocean, the ship waited, patient and aware. Humanity's trial had begun in earnest, and the next steps would define the course of history. The ocean was calm, but deep below, the alien spaceship pulsed with energy like a living heart. For weeks, Dr. Elena Martinez and her team had navigated its chambers, solved its puzzles, and proven that humanity could act with unity, intelligence, and morality. They had faced tests that challenged their knowledge, courage, and ethical choices, and now they approached the ship's core, the final chamber. "This is it," Elena whispered as the submersible Leviathan moved closer. "Everything we've worked for leads here. If we succeed, we will finally understand what the creators intended." The core chamber was enormous, with walls that seemed to curve endlessly. Energy flowed like rivers along the surfaces, casting glowing reflections that danced across the team's faces. In the center floated a sphere of light, translucent but solid, pulsing rhythmically. This was the heart of the ship, the source of its knowledge, its guidance, and its connection to the universe. Elena's hand trembled as she reached toward the console. "This is the culmination of everything we've done. We must be careful." The holographic figure from earlier appeared, this time larger and more vivid. "You have proven your worth," it said. "You have shown intelligence, morality, and unity. Now, you may access the knowledge and guidance your species is ready for." As the sphere responded to their presence, symbols and images filled the chamber. They depicted technologies far beyond human imagination, energy systems that could power the entire planet, propulsion methods capable of reaching distant stars, and medicine that could cure previously incurable diseases. Each device was shown not only in theory but also with instructions and simulations, allowing humans to understand their function. "This is unbelievable," Samir Rao whispered. "We can solve so many problems with this knowledge." Elena nodded. "And not just technology. The ship is showing us philosophy, ethics, and guidance. It's teaching us how to use these discoveries responsibly." The team realized that the ship had left more than inventions. It had left wisdom. It had observed humanity for centuries, learning their strengths and weaknesses. It had nudged their growth subtly, ensuring they developed creativity, cooperation, and resilience. And now, it offered the ultimate reward, the opportunity to step into a broader universe. "This is our chance to join the stars," Elena said. "But we must be ready not just to explore, but to act responsibly and ethically." The chamber responded to her words. The sphere expanded, projecting a holographic map of galaxies. each marked with civilizations and potential connections. Lines of light indicated communication networks, trade routes, and safe paths through space. Elena and her team realized that this ship was a bridge to a cosmic community. As they studied the map, the team discovered something even more profound. The ship's creators had chosen humanity because of their resilience and ingenuity. They had been guided subtly, inspired by examples of unity, creativity, and moral choice throughout history. Humans had proven themselves capable of rising above selfishness and fear. And now, they had the opportunity to take the next step in evolution, not biologically, but intellectually and morally. Elena felt a deep sense of responsibility. "We are no longer just explorers of Earth," she said. "We are becoming explorers of the universe, and the way we act now will define our future and the future of all humanity." The team spent days analyzing the knowledge within the core. They experimented with energy devices, understanding how to harness them safely. They studied propulsion systems that could take humans to distant stars in years instead of centuries. They explored medical technologies that could extend life and improve health on a global scale. But the most important lesson was ethical. The ship emphasized that power without wisdom could destroy civilizations. Every device, every simulation, every instruction included moral guidance. The creators had built a system to ensure that only those who respected life, collaboration, and integrity could fully benefit. While the team explored, news of their discoveries had reached the surface world. Governments, scientists, and citizens realized that humanity faced a turning point. Cooperation was now essential not just within nations, but across the globe. The ship's tests had proven that greed and selfishness were dangerous, while unity, intelligence, and morality were the keys to advancement. Elena decided to share some of the knowledge with trusted international scientists and leaders. Renewable energy designs, advanced medical techniques, and environmental solutions were released in stages, ensuring that humanity could begin to use them responsibly. "This is what the ship wanted," Elena said during a broadcast to the world. "It's not just about technology, it's about how we grow as a species. We are being given the tools, but it's up to us to use them wisely." Meanwhile, the ship continued to pulse softly, almost like a heartbeat, acknowledging humanity's progress. It was alive in a way humans could barely comprehend, responsive to thought, intention, and ethical choice. Its creators had designed it as a teacher, a guardian, and a guide. As the team explored further, they discovered a chamber that contained the ship's communication array. By interacting with the core, they could reach out to other civilizations across the galaxy. Civilizations that had also proven themselves worthy. "This is incredible," Samir said. "We can contact other worlds, exchange knowledge, and learn from their experiences." Elena felt a sense of wonder and humility. "And we must remember the lessons we've learned here. Unity, morality, and intelligence are not just tests. They are the foundation of our place in the universe." The team realized that humanity's journey was just beginning. With the ship's guidance, they could explore distant stars, share knowledge, and connect with civilizations beyond imagination. But they also understood the responsibility. Misuse could bring disaster, while wise action could elevate humanity to heights previously thought impossible. The ocean above remained calm, hiding the extraordinary events below. The world watched in awe as human civilization prepared for a new era, an era of exploration, discovery, and ethical growth. Elena reflected on the journey. She remembered the first moment they discovered the spaceship, buried in the deep ocean. What had seemed like an impossible find had become a doorway to the stars. Humanity had faced tests, threats, and mysteries, and through curiosity, courage, and collaboration, they had proven themselves. The holographic figure appeared one last time. "You have learned well," it said. "Your species has the potential to join the broader community of life in the universe. Continue to act with wisdom and unity, and your future will be limitless." Elena looked at her team, her eyes shining with emotion. "We've done it," she said softly. "We've proven that humans can rise to challenges, act ethically, and reach beyond our world. Now, it's time to take the next step. As the team prepared to return to the surface, the ship pulsed once more, sending waves of energy throughout the trench. It was a signal of acknowledgement, encouragement, and hope. Humanity had passed the tests. They were ready. Above the ocean, the world waited, unaware of the full extent of the knowledge humans had gained. But slowly, people began to see the changes. New technologies improved energy, medicine, and communication. Nations started collaborating in ways never seen before, inspired by the proof that unity and intelligence could achieve wonders. Elena gazed at the ocean, the ship glowing faintly beneath the waves. "The journey has just begun," she said. "We've opened the door to the universe. And now, it's up to us to walk through it responsibly." The ocean depths held a secret that had waited millennia. Now, that secret had chosen humans as its stewards. With courage, wisdom, and unity, humanity was ready to step into the stars, carrying with them the spirit of exploration and the promise of a brighter, wiser future. The spaceship pulsed one final time, a gentle heartbeat beneath the ocean. It had observed, tested, and guided humanity. And now, it had passed the ultimate judgment. Humanity had been found worthy, and the universe awaited.